My mom forbade me from celebrating my son's 10th birthday because my brother's kids would feel left out. So that night, we packed up and moved out. A year later, when her golden grandkids saw my son's happiness, my brother's envy did what I never could. It tore our family apart. You know that gut-wrenching feeling when you realize your own family, the very people sworn to love you unconditionally, are actually keeping a secret ledger? A ledger where your child's happiness isn't a gift, but a debt owed to someone else's fragile ego? Because that's precisely what happened when my own mother told me we couldn't celebrate my son's 10th birthday. All because my brother's kids, the golden ones, didn't feel special enough. What the hell do you even do when faced with that kind of twisted injustice? My name's Nick. I'm 35, a locksmith, the guy you call at midnight when your key snaps and your life suddenly grinds to a halt. I live in a tiny rental with my incredible wife, Anna, and our son, Leo. He was just days away from turning 10. You should have seen him sticking post-it notes on the fridge like it was a countdown to a rocket launch. 3 sleeps, 2 sleeps, 1. All he wanted was a simple party. Courtyard soccer, hot dogs, and a chocolate cake with a Big 10 on top. Nothing fancy, just his day. In my family, I'm a background guy. The king of swing-by fixes. Squeaky hinge? Stuck latch? Call Nick. But if it's a glow-up, a promotion, a stage photo with matching outfits in a field at sunset? Oh, you call my older brother, Andrew. He's the golden one. Doors don't stick for him. Doors open for him. I don't hate Andrew. When we were kids, I trailed him like a shadow with a wrench while he trailed applause. Mom kept score in a ledger only she could see. Andrew always had the credits. I always had character building. I learned to be useful. He learned to be adored. The whole thing came crashing down that Saturday afternoon. I'd gone to my parents' house to grab a folding table for Leo's party. Mom likes to lend things with a lecture included. She watched me dusting it off in the garage, then with a tone that just screamed agenda, called "Come inside for tea." Dad was in his recliner, TV muted, pretending to be neutral like Switzerland. Mom poured the tea, didn't even offer sugar, and went straight to the script. "We've been talking," she said. "About?" I asked, already dreading it. "About Sunday," she paused, taking a breath. "About Leo?" I waited, my stomach tightening. Then it came, delivered like it was just a weather report. "You can't have the party." I blinked. What? My mind, usually so precise, snagged on the impossibility. "They saw those balloons you bought," she continued, completely unfazed. "And they're sensitive right now. They feel overlooked. A big fuss for Leo would be divisive." Divisive? For 5 kids, hot dogs, and a cake. "We're not hiring a brass band," I said, trying to keep my voice even. She smiled. A thin, unsettling smile. "Postpone it. Or make it a joint celebration at Andrew's. His yard is bigger. It's only fair." "Fair? Leo turns 10 once. We've planned this for weeks," I pleaded. Mom's voice cooled, turning to ice. "If you choose selfishness, don't bring him here afterward. We won't reward it." The kettle clicked off. Dad cleared his throat, but no one, not one of them, looked at me. Inside me, something small and precise moved into place like pins lining up in a lock. It wasn't rage. Not exactly. It was recognition. I saw that ledger again, the one where my son's joy counted as someone else's theft. "Okay," I said. "Mom, I hear you." I left the folding table right where it was. I walked out with empty hands, but with a thought that wouldn't let go. He turns 10 once, and we are done begging for permission to celebrate our own kid. You don't arrive at a sentence like, "Your brother's kids don't feel special enough," out of nowhere. It's built over years, brick by brick, favor by favor, silence by silence. I grew up learning that love at our house had fine print. When Andrew needed a new baseball bat, the budget stretched. When I needed a school fee, we had a serious talk about priorities. When he won trophies, the living room turned into a shrine. When I fixed a broken fence, I got a nod and a good man. I told myself I didn't mind because I like tools and being useful is its own language. But being useful is different from being seen. By 16, I was rekeying rentals for a landlord who paid in cash and complaints. I learned the sound of a cylinder when it's almost there, the way metal talks to you if you just listen. I like this certainty. Follow the pins. Turn the plug. Door opens. People cry and say thank you. No ledgers, no drama. I met Anna on a lockout call. She brought me water, and then she asked if I wanted lemon. Lemon. That tiny detail still lives in my head. A spark of unexpected kindness. We got married at the courthouse with a grocery store cake and a tiny bouquet Anna tied with blue thread from her sewing kit. The cake didn't photograph well. It tasted perfect. Andrew married Jenna in a vineyard. There were drones and a hashtag. When Leo was born, I held him and just thought, asterisk, this is it. This is my whole job now. Make the world a little kinder at the edges. Asterisk, we don't have much, but we have clear rules. Don't lie. Don't keep score. Don't weaponize help. My side of the family, though, they run on small asks. Nick, can you install a smart lock at Andrews? He'd pay a pro, but we're family. Nick, can you look at our garage door Saturday? It's loud. Your father can't nap. Nick, can you pick up the kids? Jenna's spa day went long. At first, I said yes to all of it. That's how you keep peace, right? You pay the tax. But taxes turned into tithes. If I invoiced them, I'd be cold-hearted. If I didn't, I'd be a good son. The ledger always existed. The labels just shifted to keep me in my place. We keep a budget notebook at home, pencil numbers for groceries, gas, rent. Last year, I added a tiny page, family jobs, hours parts. I told myself it was just to remember. January through June, 37 hours. Parts, $213. Reimbursed, 0. Mom texted in March. We'll settle up after Easter. Easter, then Mother's Day. Then things are tight in June. Meanwhile, Andrew posted a photo of their new espresso machine with the caption, "Invest in mornings." Cool. It wasn't just money. It was the posture. The assumption that our time was elastic. That Leo schedule could just bend around their real things. Last year, we tried a joint party for his 9th. It makes sense, Mom said. Children learn to share. Sharing turned into our kid fading into the wallpaper while Andrew's kids got the center spot and the big slice with a topper that said, "Family first." The photos looked adorable. Leo asked me later if joint meant not really mine. Anna cried in the bathroom with the fan on. She hates crying where people can hear. I stood outside the door and stared at a towel rack I had installed for my parents and never got paid for. I thought about sending an invoice with a line item for respect. I didn't. That felt petty. Plus, I knew the ledger would just flip it into proof that I was calculating. My mom has a tone when she says my brother's kids' names. It's soft and round, like a spoon in honey. When she says Leo's name, it's brisk, efficient, like she's filing paperwork. She doesn't mean to. She believes she loves us equally. The ledger says otherwise. In the weeks leading up to Leo's 10th, we planned small. 12 balloons, $16. Hot dogs, buns, juice, $41. Paper plates and candles, $9. A used soccer net off Marketplace, $20. Chocolate, butter, flour for the cake, $27. Total, $113. Leo made a guest list of 5 kids, writing their names in careful, blocky letters. He even drew a tiny cake next to each name. He saved 2 seats for his cousins because he still wants everything to work out. Then came Mom's kitchen. Postpone or make it joint. Your brother's kids don't feel special enough. I said no. It scared me how quiet the word came out. That night, my phone lit up like a Christmas tree. Aunt texts. Dad calls. Andrew's brotherly voice notes. The pattern was predictable. Is a compromise really so hard? Aunt, be pragmatic. We're one family. Dad, who becomes pragmatic when it's convenient. Bring the cake to ours. We got a theme. Andrew, always brand conscious. Don't be selfish, Nicholas. Mom, she uses my full name when she thinks she's saving me from myself. Anna watched me put my phone face down. What do you want to do? She asked, her voice soft but steady. I stared at the streamers on our kitchen table. I thought of Leo's drawings taped to the fridge. I want to give our son his day, I said, and I want to stop negotiating for basic joy. Then let's do that, she said, and it was like a weight lifted. Mom's last text came at 10:41 p.m. If you go through with this, don't bring him here afterward. We cannot support your choices. You read that and realized support in this family has always just meant control. I slept light. In my dream, I was turning a stubborn cylinder. It finally clicked. Sunday morning, Leo came barreling into the kitchen in mismatched socks. "Is it today? Is it double digits?" he yelled, practically vibrating. "It's today," I said, my voice thick with emotion. "It's double digits." We iced the cake together. I don't know how to do those smooth bakery swirls. Mine looked like small waves. Leo said they were cool like mountains. Anna piped the 1 and the 0 a little crooked. It felt right. At 9:12 a.m., my mom called. I let it ring. At 9:14, Andrew. At 9:19, Dad. The call log looked like a fire alarm. We opened the courtyard gate. I taped a paper sign with an arrow that said Leo's 10th, like it was a treasure map. Kids arrived. Backpacks chatter. Shy hellos turned into joyful chaos. We played penalty kicks into the used net. Leo scored, skidded on his knees, and yelled, "Yes," like he was announcing something bigger than soccer. Then at 10:03, the gate rattled. Mom walked in with Andrew and Jenna behind her, like a small parade that didn't check the schedule. They were uninvited and dressed like they were here to host. My stomach sank. Anna stood a little straighter beside me. Leo came to my side and grabbed my hand, his palms sticky with frosting he'd tested. Mom glanced around, the balloons, the paper plates, the $20 net, like it was contraband. She made the face she makes when a server puts cilantro on her food. "Nicholas," she said, her voice carrying across the courtyard. "We told you the conditions." "This is Leo's party," I said. "Calm." I heard my own tone and felt steady. Andrew smiled like a politician. "Bro, we're not here to fight. We're here to rescue this. Bring the cake to our place. The cousins are waiting. We've got entertainment, a better grill, an arch. It'll look good." Jenna tried to step in. "Let's be adults," she said to me, then soft to Mom. "It's not a competition." Mom ignored her. "You are making the other children feel less than," she announced, as if speaking to a crowd. "That's not who we are." I looked at Leo's friends, wide-eyed, holding paper cups. I looked at my son, his brave little hand still in mine. And I looked at the woman who gave birth to me and somehow forgot that celebration is not theft. "You can stay and be kind," I said, my voice unwavering. "Or you can leave." Mom's eyes widened like I'd slapped her. "Excuse me." "You heard me," I said. "No speeches, no conditions, no rescue. You're guests or you're gone." Andrew laughed. A short, bitter sound. Big words, little budget. Something in me wanted to list every free hour I'd poured into his house. The security cameras, the rekeying after he lost the key, the Saturday mornings I gave up so his weekend could breathe. Instead, I did the simplest thing that felt like truth. "Stop," I said. He blinked. "What?" "Stop making my son's birthday about your kids," I said. "Stop turning our life into your project. Stop walking into spaces you weren't invited to and acting like hosts." Mom switched to guilt mode. "After everything we've done for you, done for me, turned into a bill," I countered. "Every time. And I'm not paying it anymore." Andrew stepped closer, lowering his voice to make it scarier. "Think very carefully about your next move." "I have," I said. "It's cake." I turned to the kids. "Who want to sing?" The courtyard filled with a wobbly, loud chorus of 9 and 10-year-olds. Leo's face went shiny with happiness. He closed his eyes to make a wish. He opened them and blew 10 small flames out at once. He cheered. They cheered. It felt like oxygen. Mom stood frozen, then snapped. "If you leave like this, do not come back," she shrieked. "We won't be treated like this." "We won't be treated like that either," I said. "No heat, just a fact." Andrew tried one more flick of power. "Text me when you come to your senses." I didn't promise anything. They left. We cut cake. The boys argued about the corner piece. Someone spilled juice. Someone yelled, "Goal again." Life resumed. When the last guest left with a sticky goodie bag, and our courtyard looked like a confetti storm, Anna leaned against me and whispered, "I'm proud of you." I exhaled for the first time all day. "I meant it," I said. "This isn't about revenge. This is about closure." We cleaned up, then looked around our place like it was a map. We finally understood. "Pack a bag," I said. "We need a night away from the noise." We stuffed clothes into a duffel, scooped legal papers into a file folder. Leo chose 2 Lego mini figs so they wouldn't be lonely. We left the faucet drip we'd been ignoring and the coin jar on the counter. We locked the door from the outside. The lock clicked, and it felt like a sentence ending in the right place. We checked into a budget motel off Route 8. The AC hummed like a steady friend. Leo fell asleep between us, smelling like sugar. Anna looked at me in the dim light and asked, "Are we really doing this?" "Yeah," I said. "We are." We didn't go far. We went far enough to hear our own voices. 2 motel nights turned into a short-term sublet over a barber shop. The landlord handed me the keys and said, "Deadbolt sticks. You look like you know what you're doing." I fixed it in 5 minutes and felt like maybe we'd be okay. We brought what we could carry: 2 duffels, a folding table, Leo's beanbag, the coin jar. We bought a mattress secondhand and a $40 couch that leaned left. The place smelled like hair, tonic downstairs, and fresh air upstairs. Every morning, we woke to the shop radio and the sound of clippers. I liked it. It sounded like people working. The family reaction came in waves. Week 1 calls: 27 missed from Mom, 14 from Dad, 9 from unknown numbers. Aunts. Voicemails that sounded like press releases. "We're devastated, Mom. Be reasonable, Dad," who was pragmatic when it suited him. "Therapy for the kids is expensive because of you, Andrew." Classic. "Let's talk like adults, Mom," again. After the anger cooled into manipulation, I saved every voicemail into a folder labeled weather. When I felt weak, I listened and reminded myself what a storm looks like. Week 2, the money squeeze. Mom texted, "We fronted a lot for you over the years. If you're going to choose this path, we need to settle up." She attached a list of loans that included a grocery run from 2018 and a pack of diapers from 2015. I screenshotted it and added it to weather. I didn't respond. You can't audit love retroactively to make disobedience expensive. Week 3, the smear. Jenna posted a quotation about ingratitude over a beige aesthetic, and 3 people liked it with heart emojis. An aunt texted, "Family forgives." Another aunt texted, "But you went too far." Both screenshots went to weather. I stopped checking Facebook. Our life shrank and got better. Mornings, I'd walk Leo to school down Maple, passing Mr. Ortiz sweeping his deli sidewalk. He started keeping lemon lollipops for Leo. "Your boy's polite," he said. Evenings, soccer in the park with a ball losing hexagons. Homework at the folding table. Pasta too many nights in a row. Laughter. Anyway, I took extra lock jobs and raised my rates by $10 because my work is worth it. I wrote it on the invoice without apologizing. Some clients blinked. Most paid. I also sent a new text to family when they tried the old quick favor script. "Happy to help at my standard rate, $95 per hour plus parts. Weekend rate, $115. Mom responded, "LOL." Andrew responded with a screenshot of a Yelp listing. I replied, "Great. Hire them." He didn't. In March, Dad called at 6:13 a.m. Garage won't close. "Your mother's upset," he said. "I can come Friday at 2, I said. Rates $95 plus parts. Silence. "You're really doing this?" he asked. "I am." He hung up. They hired a stranger who charged $140 and left the wire a mess. Mom texted a photo of the mess with the caption, "This is what happens when family doesn't help family." I typed and deleted 5 replies. I settled on none. Leo turned into a different kid. He slept deeper. He stopped asking, "Are we going to grandma's?" like it might change if he said it right. He started asking, "Can we invite Omar from school?" The answer was yes, more often than it used to be. We started 2 jars, summer and emergency. We fed them with tips and side jobs and the occasional $20 Anna tucked in when she sold a custom ham for a neighbor. Numbers grew slow, then grew faster. It was boring and holy. Not that it was easy. The second month, our old car coughed up a costly check engine light. We sat at the shop, got the quote, did the math. We said no to a Friday pizza and yes to a repair. Leo asked if we were poor. I said, "We're careful." He decided that sounded cooler. He told his friend, "We're careful. It means we pick our fun on purpose." In late spring, we ran into Andrew at the hardware store. He looked at my basket, hinges, strike plates, graphite, and smirked. "Still playing handyman?" he asked. Still playing eldest son? I shot back. He leaned in. You think you're better because you're stubborn. I think I'm healthier because I stopped paying an imaginary bill, I said. He looked confused and a little mad. He walked away. Summer came. We took one-day trip to the lake. Gas, sandwiches, $7 parking, a sunburn. It felt like the whole world reset to simple. In September, I got a call from the school guidance office. My heart dropped until the counselor said, I just wanted to tell you, Leo advocates for himself. He's kind. I sat on a barber shop stairs and cried behind my hands. Not loud, just relief. We barely spoke to my parents. They sent 3 holiday invites, each with heavy subtext. We declined with one sentence each time. We're staying in. Happy holidays. They sent photos of centerpieces and matching pajamas. We baked cookies and ate them in pajamas. We didn't match. And Leo fell asleep on the left-leaning couch with chocolate on his cheek. A year rolled by like a careful card. The week before Leo's 11th, he asked, Can I invite my cousins again? He said it with hope and caution, like a test of the emergency broadcast system. You can, I said. They might not come. He wrote their names anyway on the list, right after Omar and Liam and Eva. He drew tiny soccer balls next to each. Party plan. Same courtyard. Same net repaired with fishing line. Same cake. My swirls got better. Plus, a rented bubble machine from a guy I helped open his shop once at dawn. He gave me a discount and said, You saved me that day. Community is weird. It's heavier where you lift it. At 2:05 on party day, Jenna arrived with the cousins. No, Andrew. The kids looked nervous, then saw the bubbles and forgot to be strategic. They jumped into the foam like puppies. 5 minutes later, Mom slipped in, holding a gift bag too big for what was inside. She scanned the scene like a judge, then tried to corral the cousins for a grandkids photo, but they wriggled away to chase bubbles. She looked unsure. Leo handed a paper cup to his cousin and said, We have the corner piece of cake reserved for the birthday kid. You can have the other corner if you want. The cousins said, Cool. They smiled. It could have been so simple all along. At 3:10, Andrew walked in, sunglasses loud. He took in the joy that wasn't centered on him and made a face like he smelled a bad idea. So, this is what we're doing, he said. Budget party chic. Inspiring. Jenna said his name with a warning note. Mom tried to smooth the air with a brittle laugh. People kept laughing at Bubbles. Joy is stubborn. Andrew stepped closer to me. You happy? He asked, his voice dripping with condescension. You broke Mom's heart for this? For our kid smile. Yeah, I said. He scoffed. You think you're some hero because you bought off-brand juice and said boundaries a lot. Meanwhile, we've had to pay for therapy for the kids because you excluded them. He air quoted, excluded them like a teenager. I almost asked for receipts, but I've learned better. You can't audit that ledger either. He leaned in, voice sharp. You owe Mom an apology today. In front of everyone. Kids turned their heads. Bubbles popped. The sun made everything too clear. I crouched to Leo. You okay? He nodded. Brave. I stood up. Andrew, I said. You need to leave. He laughed. Make me. I didn't raise my voice. I have 71 voicemails and 94 texts saved from last year where you and Mom threatened consequences. I said, if you won't go, I'll call this in as a disturbance. Numbers matter to him. He flinched. Mom tried one last pivot. Nicholas, don't do this in front of the children. This is exactly where to do it, I said, so they see what a boundary looks like without yelling. Jenna took Andrew's arm. We're leaving, she said. Her tone said, I'm done being your audience. He yanked free, turned at the gate, and shouted, You'll regret this. It sounded small against the noise of kids laughing at Bubbles. We went back to cake. Leo got his corner. His cousin got the other. Joy rebooted. That night, my phone lit up with messages that ranged from the scripted, families have disagreements, to the obscene. I put face down. I washed the cake knife. I took my son into bed. He said, best party, and fell asleep like he trusted the floor not to move. If you spend your life as the background guy, it feels wrong at first to take up space. You keep wanting to apologize for existing in the frame. I don't do that anymore. Our life isn't cinematic. It's check out lane math and borrowed ladders and soup on Tuesdays. It's Anna hemming pants at the kitchen table. It's me coming home smelling like metal and graphite, and Leo yelling unlock when I open the door, and me yelling relock back because we're dorks. It's jars on the fridge labeled cleats, camping, car fund, filled by ones and fives that add up to something true. My mother texts sometimes. Neutral holidays. A photo of chrysanthemums. A link to an article about forgiveness. I reply when I want, with full sentences. I don't when I don't. She hasn't said, I'm sorry. I stopped writing that line for her in my head. Andrew sent a paragraph in spring. We should be brothers again. Family forgives. I could use help installing camera system. Can you do Saturday? I replied, I'm booked. He wrote always selfish. I didn't let that land. Words only land if you make room. People ask if I'm angry. I was. Now I'm clear. There's a difference. Here's what I know and what I'm teaching my son. Joy isn't a pie you steal from when you give a slice to your kid. Help isn't help if it turns into a receipt every time you say no. Boundaries aren't revenge. They're doors that lock from the inside, so your home can be quiet. Saying no without a paragraph is a skill. We don't do that is a complete sentence. This was never about winning. There's no scoreboard in healthy love. This was about closure, which is just another word for turning the key on a door that never protected you and walking through the one that does. I'm still a locksmith. I still show up when people are stuck. I still listen for the tiny click that means it's time. I used to believe my job ended at the door. Now, I know it also lives at our kitchen table, at a courtyard with a lopsided cake, at a gate where I said, you need to leave, and meant it. I won't let anyone ration my kid's birthday to keep other kids feeling special enough. I won't do free labor to buy a seat at a table where we're never served. I won't pay emotional interest on loans I never took. I will keep my house simple and my rules simpler. Be kind. Be honest. Be safe. This isn't about revenge, I told my brother. This is about closure. It still is. We lined up the pins. We turned. The door opened. We stepped through. And we stayed. What would you have done in my place? Have you ever had to draw a line in the sand with family like this? Tell me what you think in the comments.